Tracing human rights and environmental abuses to global corporations can prove incredibly helpful in bringing about meaningful change for workers and communities. I work for a small nonprofit called Transparentum that works to do just that. So there's two key areas of research that we undertake to trace supply chains. There's desktop research and there's physically tracing goods and establishing business relationships on the ground. For desktop research, there are numerous countries that disclose either their imports or their exports by ship, by truck, by air. It varies all around the world, but thankfully there are resources like Panjiva and Import Genius that make all available data accessible, easily searchable. You can then determine who shipped what to whom, how much it is worth, and what it weighed in many instances. So highly recommend checking out those types of resources. Thankfully, after years of advocacy, there's a one-stop shop called Open Supply Hub. It used to be called the Open Apparel Registry, but it's now called Open Supply Hub. And it combines all of the public disclosures by brands of their suppliers. So you can see, you can search a factory and find out the brands that have disclosed that factory as a supplier. Sometimes you can even see for deeper tier fabric mills that they have been nominated by a specific brand. Then there's also resources for understanding corporations and the many arms that they might have. So there's open corporates, and you can also look in many national business registries for corporate information that will show which family might own many different related companies, and you can start to tease out and understand those relationships to establish connections. After you complete your desktop research, you may identify holes in the supply chain that you need to fill by work on the ground to physically trace the movement of materials and to establish business relationships. And there's a lot of ways that you can do that. So you can talk to workers or other people at companies that know what products are being made and who they're being sent to. You can try to access invoices or transport slips or to take photographs of labels. You can also track trucks and boats if you know what materials are being shipped with them. There's a very handy tool called Marine Traffic where you can see the movement of all large ships around the world. As long as you know what material is on that ship, you can see where it ultimately ends up. You can also use satellite imagery and drones to see the movement of stockpiles of materials or to see deforestation. And then you can use tools like genetic testing, isotopic analysis, and trace element analysis to determine the geographic origin of materials by testing a finished product. So the next big step, I think, in operationalizing this for folks is just to dive right in. If you're documenting abuses on the ground, think really creatively about ways that you can connect the dots in the supply chain, and feel free to reach out to people like me, my colleagues, and everyone in this space. I have always found that practitioners are very, very eager to help like-minded organizations working to improve the situation for workers. So thank you. Thank you for watching this video.